Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's great to be here and to see so many people. Some I know, some I don't know. I am going to talk about our collaboration and the work that we've undertaken in a little while. But first of all, I want to take you on a bit of a journey. I want to talk to you about the environment and about how we actually go about designing and building a mental health unit, because I'm sure some of you will know about the work that we do, but others who haven't been involved in the design process will wonder how we get to where we are and how we've got to where we are over the years. So is the environment important? Well, yes, it's very important, because no environment is neutral. So I thought we'd do a little bit of visualization. Now, this isn't an invitation for those of you who networked late last night to go to sleep, but would you just like to close your eyes? And we're going to walk into a 5-star hotel. And we're walking across the reception area to the seating area. And we're sitting in a sofa, one of those that just takes you in and caresses you. And it's quiet. There are people rushing around, but the sounds are muffled because there's a thick pile carpet on the floor. There are curtains at the windows. And it's peaceful. There's a little bit of light music in the background. But oh dear, we can't stay there very long. So now we've got to stand up, we have to walk out of the door, we have to go across the road, and we're going into the bus station. It's a tall building. The noise is unbelievable of people chattering, shouting, carrying on. And we're going to sit down on a nice metal chair. Now, which of those environments would you prefer to be in? So that's just as you can open your eyes now, and anyone who's got them closed, you must be asleep. But this is about our perceptions and understanding the effects of how our surroundings have a psychological effect on us. And that's equally true when we look at a mental health facility. This is where we came from. There may be one or two of the older ones that can just remember some of these wards, but this is where we've come from. So don't be mistaken, we have come a long way, but there's still a way to go. These are more recent, not the best of environments. So where did it all start? Well, back in 1999, we had the publication of the National Service Framework for Adult Mental Health. That really changed mental health and the facilities for the good. Mental health was always a Cinderella service, but suddenly it was at the forefront. We then had the pig that somebody else has also mentioned. We love the good old pig. And then in 2002, we had your own national minimum standards. We then got, over the next few years, many documents. I actually stopped counting in 2004 when the count was 96 documents for mental health services. And all of them had a little snippet in which talked about the environment, but all the little snippets were different. So of course you had to read them all. It was hard work. At that time, we were still using what we still use today, which are health building notes. But the health building note we were using had been published in 1995. To say it was out of date was an understatement, but that was what we were using. The government, in its wisdom, decided that actually many of the areas were too small. Across the board, this wasn't just mental health, it was adult services, acute services, CAMS, and they issued HBN 56, which was the consumerism agenda, and this increased some of the areas of the rooms. Fortunately, it was realised that actually we had very little guidance that was of use to us. And so in 2006, work commenced on the health building note for adult mental health. This is HBN 0301. The vision at that time was that this would form the basis for every mental health care facility, new or refurbished, in the country. It's got all the rooms in that you would need in a ward. So it's got a treatment room, it's got a cleaner's room, it's got a disposal hold, it's got bedrooms, it's got sitting rooms, it's got dining rooms, it's got everything you would need. And actually, whatever service you are using, those are the rooms that you need in that service. However, some services require different things. A medium secure unit, for example, needs a control room. PICU, you've got airlocks. CAMS, you've got school facilities. So the idea at the department was that we would have a suite of documents that covered the differences. So you start with your basis, your health building note. And then, of course, the world went into global financial meltdown and everything came to a standstill. The document was completed in 2010. We thought it would never come out, but happily it did. In 2013, it was actually published, and it's still the basis for all mental health and new and refurbished buildings. It is still up to date. So this, when we start designing a mental health unit, is the first place that we go to. However, you can't just say, oh, that's it. We've got to take notice of other HBNs. And you'll see in the other list, we've got things like sanitary spaces, flooring, sanitary ware, windows. So all these have to be taken into consideration. And one of the main ones, of course, is the health building note on infection control in the built environment. This offers us many, many challenges in getting a domestic, homely and pleasant environment and balancing the issues of infection control. A challenge that I'm sure we will go on and on and on working on. Guidance doesn't stop there though, because we also have health technical memoranda. And these cover such fascinating topics as waste management, lifts, arson prevention, which of course is very important, reducing false alarms. So as you can see, there's an awful lot of reading, but not a lot of it is specific to PICUs. As Faisal has talked about, we met initially at the end of 2015, and we realised that actually we are very similar organisations, and we both have the same aims, which is to improve the patient journey, to improve outcomes, and to improve everything about the services. So we thought about how we could work together. The updated standards have just been issued, and of course this offers us a fantastic opportunity to bring together, sorry, I've gone too far, to bring together our two organisations and to look at creating a document that would enhance HBN 0301, picking up on the areas in a PICU that are specific to a PICU service, and also related to the national minimum standards, because some of the standards have changed. Recently someone was talking to me again about the ceiling heights and quoting from the old document. The new document has different requirements. So it's vitally important that people know about this. We pulled together a scope of works. The orange line denotes where we've got to. We are on track at the moment, as Faisal said. It might slip slightly because we have had a very small consultation and we've got a lot of comments back which are very valid, and we need to go through carefully to ensure that they are incorporated into this draft and into the next draft. We set up our core working group. As Faisal said, Chris, would you like to wave, Chris? That's Chris. And I co-chair it. And from In our PICU, we have Roland and Bernard. And from Design and Mental Health Network, we have Steve Jameson and Kath Lake. And actually what this does is to bring together a series of people with different expertise. We've got clinical expertise, we've got expert by experience, we've got estates, we've got architectural. So we've got a real cross-section of people there who know about different aspects of design. Alex talked about Len Bowers earlier. PICUs, when did they come into being? They came about with the closure of the old asylums and opening up the wards. It was suddenly realised that actually we needed some smaller locked wards for those who are acutely ill and vulnerable. And this description, which is from the 70s, is actually still relevant today. So what environment are we trying to create? Well, we want something that's therapeutic, that offers privacy and dignity, it's secure and safe, it has space, it has places for activities, and it's accessible. But it also needs to have accessibility to an outside space. So you need nice external spaces, and you need to consider different activities going on in there. One of the main differences that we have found between a PICU and an adult mental health unit is that, of course, PICUs are very much smaller. You have to be very careful with a small building. If you have fewer bedrooms, you have a smaller building, which gives you a smaller internal courtyard. So you have to be careful to look at the outside spaces sensibly and think, well, actually, is that sized at a space that would be nice to be in, or is it going to be a bit like a cage? Health Building Note, HBN 0301, is, as I've talked before, it's the main Bible, it's what we use. In there, they have some tables which you can't read very easily, but you can see what they're about. Basically, they're a checklist of what we're trying to create in terms of a therapeutic environment, privacy and dignity, what's required, and how we're going to achieve it. And these are really helpful when you're designing a building. If you look, for example, at number 1, the natural daylight maximising their views out to landscape and the sky. Talking about a courtyard, if it's small, sometimes it's quite difficult to actually see the sky from inside looking out. In areas where there's little or no light, you can have high-level windows in the roof, so they let light into the building. Ideally, you'll have single-sided corridors, but yet again, this comes back to finances. Single-sided corridors are expensive. There are also other things. If we talk about activities are very important, both internally and externally. One of the things that we do now regularly is to put in multi-purpose, multifunctional rooms, because we believe that this sort of safe space. But you have to be very, very careful about doing that. You need to timetable what's going on in your rooms. If you get it wrong, you either don't have enough rooms, or you've got too many rooms, and then you've got empty spaces that become somebody's office with a name on the door. So you need to do it carefully. We then looked at an adjacency diagram, which one of our core group produced. A unit should have a walkthrough. You should go in at the entrance. It's a public area, anybody can enter. It then goes through a stage of semi-private areas, through to the private areas, the bedrooms. At our conference in May, I had the privilege of telling our members of our collaboration and inviting both Roland and Faisal to the stage, which was a wonderful opportunity for our members to hear about your organisation. We also did a Soapbox Workshop where we asked those people who dropped by to rank a series of issues in 6 categories. These were the top ranked issues. Interesting, isn't it? None of them are a surprise, in all honesty. In every scheme you do, these are the things that come up. Acoustics and noise in the environment, very important. We tend to have a lot of heart services and nothing to muffle it. Interior design, and in a PICU that's very important, your robustness, but versus normalised or hotel style fixtures and fittings. In July, which was following our conference, our quarterly magazine had a double-page spread on our collaboration. Your picture's rather nice, Faisal. I haven't changed mine. I looked like a rabbit in the headlights from the original one. And also in July, we had this document. Lovely draft document. So where do we go next? Well, as I indicated, we did a small consultation. We had all the core members sent the document out to various different people across different areas. That closed 2 weeks ago, although I still got some comments back last night. Those will be incorporated into the document and will then go out to a wider consultation. It'll go out to all your members, it will go out to all our members. If you're not a member and you would like to be involved, please come to the Design and Mental Health Network table in the exhibition, and there is a list there where you can give us your contact details. I've got there that we aim to have the final document out by the end of November. That has slipped, it will be January, because we need to get all the comments in and get it right. Just a quick flick through a little bit about the Design and Mental Health Network. Those are our mission statements and visions. We've been going for 10 years, we're slightly younger than you are, but our membership has grown over those years. We have people from all these areas. Worth mentioning, our commercial organisations pay to be members. Everybody else, including the NHS, it's free. Please join. We've had a number of initiatives. One of them, which some of you may have heard of, is the Better Bedroom Initiative. And in 2011, we built a full-scale bedroom in Warrington. Over 1,000 people have been through there. They've given us feedback. We've made changes. We had another bedroom, a pop-up one at our conference in 2015. We believe we've reached what we aim to do with this initiative. P21 Plus now have a repeatable mental health bedroom. There are bedrooms springing up all over the country, so we don't intend to carry on with that. We have testing and accreditation. We're working with the Building Research Establishment, BRE, to put together standards for mental health fixtures and fittings, such as windows and doors. Innovation. Some of these have come about purely through the Better Bedroom. It's been a fantastic opportunity. Many of the commercial organisations came together and worked together to improve. We have other work streams with service user and carer, research, training and education, and our quarterly magazine, which is available on our network to download. So, Design and Mental Health Network brings together people involved in mental health environments. Please go to our website. We would love to have you to join. I will say that our website at the moment we are reconstituting. We shall have a new one very soon, so it may look a little bit dated at the moment, but we're getting there. But you can join, it's purely electronic, join through the website. You can then access our quarterly magazine, and we don't inundate you with spam. Thank you very much.